Yes, friends, welcome to this live stream. And always, this topic or this podcast is called Africa and Learning, where I always talk about the truths which were written wrongly in the books of history. Uh, this background here is to demonstrate the natural beauty of Africa, the love for the continent. Today, I want to talk about two topics: the signing of anti-homosexuality bill by President Museveni, which is now unhacked in Ugandan parliament, and also something coming from Ethiopia. Ethiopian leaders requested for the return of the body of Prince Alemayo, who died in 1879 and was buried in St. George Chapel in Buckingham Palace, which is the royal palace of the United Kingdom. But it was denied that the body will not be returned. First of all, let me request you to try to sing a song by Bob Marley, which my voice, I'm not very good at singing, but I will try to sing for you to introduce this video. Welcome to this video. And this song is entitled, uh, the song comes from Bob Marley, and this song is called Natty Drake, Rides Again. Bob Marley said, Drake got a job to do, and his job to fight his reputation, to see will be the greatest reputation, but we will survive in this world of competition, cause no matter what they do, Natty keep on coming through, and no matter what they say, Dreddy did it every day, Natty dreads rides again, through the mystics of tomorrow, Natty dread rides again. All I know you see Hagwan is the fight against the Rasta man. And so they build a world on great confusion to force on as the devil's illusion. But the stone that the builders refused shall be the head cornerstone. And no matter what games they play, yeah, we've got something they can never take away. We've got something. Yes, thank you, and I apologize for taking a little bit of your time. Uh, I wanted to pick some information from that song. Bob Marley said in the lyrics that they are fighting against the Rastaman. They want to force the devil's illusion on us. But our heart should become our greatest reputation. What hurts us? What makes us angry? We should struggle to turn it to become our greatest achievement in life. That's the message that Bob Marley was sending to you. Bob Marley uh, is one of the guys that mm, it is hard to understand how his kind of wisdom. He saw the future of this kind of thing, of neo-colonialism coming. Bob Marley went ahead to say, the stone that the builders refuse shall become the eighth cornerstone, which also is a statement by Jesus in Bible verse Psalm chapter 118, verse 22. Yeah, I think I'm very correct there. Psalm 118, verse 22 says that the stone which the builders refused will become the eighth cornerstone. When Jesus was chased away from Jerusalem, they wanted even to stone him. So, back to the main topic, homosexuality. Thank you very much, President Museveni, for signing the bill. It's not allowed here. And many other African countries and many other countries in the Middle East, they don't want it. Mm. Now, your sex preference started as an individual. You went ahead to make it public. Somebody somewhere in USA or UK. Now it is a law allowing it. Why do you want it to come here? Why do you think that homosexuality rights being denied is the major challenge in Africa? Joe Biden opened his mouth and also criticized President Museveni, threatening him with sanctions that they will stop AIDS. Matter of fact, let me tell you one thing. Africans are surviving on this. Turn the camera to it. This one here, you see? This is cassava. Bring back. So, and the phone we're using, the camera I'm using right now, I give you money, USA, using this. Nothing else. We get it from this one. Another thing, what you're bragging with even is what you bought from us. The raw materials, all you bought it from us. Minerals you bought from us. Now we are having a lot of graphite for making electric cars. For you, you say you no longer want the petroleum. Yes, we have the graphite now. You will come to buy it from us. And our ancestors, even the current president, have been selling it cheaply to you. I think we need to rethink. The European Union, the United Kingdom specifically, and the United States, the way you're trying to enforce your things is like you're trying to prove your superiority. But I want to remind you one thing, that Africa was one time the first to be the superpower. That is Egypt. Even Jesus, that you wrote in your history book, the Bible, from Israel, and sought refuge in Africa, in Egypt, because King Herod wanted to kill him. That's according to how you wrote it. He came here to seek refuge. So he was a refugee in Africa. Now, looking at, again, this angle, these days, we Africans are running to you to seek refuge because of the wars that you're the ones who tricked. Yeah? Russia, China, UK, USA, you're all doing the same thing in Africa with different styles. So we are running to your country to seek refuge. But one time, you were coming to Africa to seek refuge. So the table turned. So who are you to say that the table will never turn again, forever? I think it's a high time that USA and UK come to stay on the right side of the history. In the past, your ancestors, let me tell you, Joe Biden and other leaders, your ancestors came here, robbed Africa, took people into slavery, and wrote in the book that we are the ones who sold our own people. No, it's not true. That's why I always like repeating this quote, that until the lions get their own historians, the hand story will glorify the hunter. I repeat, until the lions get their own historians, the hand story will always glorify the hunters. You were the hunters. You wanted the cow shells, you wanted gold, you wanted stones, diamonds, and the rest. You wanted slaves for industrial revolutions and the rest. So you came to Africa with your superior weapon. Our technology was still developing by that time. And we had arrows, and we had guns which were not all that more powerful, which were developed in Africa. You came with your more powerful guns. These ones, which is nowadays used for guarding banks in many countries, and also used for shooting, for hunting wild animals. You came with it, and we were powerless. Like here in Luo land, specifically Acholi in northern Uganda, we had Chief Awich of Lamugi. If somebody has read that story, Lamug rebellion, who resisted your colonialism, you beheaded him and took his head. Eh? What about Mama? What about Majimaji? You took the head of those people. So the issue of homosexuality, majority of Africans, if voted, you will find 99.99999 record percent saying no homosexuality in Africa, saying no homosexuality in Uganda and other countries. President Museveni did what the majority of Uganda wanted. Eh? Is dictatorship uh, versus democracy. What Joe Biden and USA want to do is the true dictatorship. That they should even be taken to ICC. Why do you want to dictate your foreign law into us? We can accept the right laws. What if we go to your country and start telling you that legalize suicide? Make sure that suicide is legal. Make sure that people have the right to commit suicide. What if we say that make sure that the right to have sex with animals is allowed in America? Joe Biden, make sure that the right to have sex with your mother, that is incest, the right to have sex with your relative, that is your daughter, the right to have sex with any other form of kind of thing, legalize it in USA. We cannot enforce that one because we are not stupid. We are right thinking. We know our strength better than you. We also know our weakness that you can defeat us in. And we know you people, you're failing to realize your weakness. Imagine how comes you start saying it's like me having my family here with my wife, and you're having your own family, and me telling you that Joe Biden, make sure that by 6 p.m. everyone is at home. That's a new rule because I'm using the rule here. It's a very good rule. Use it in your home. Then that can never be something correct. Eh? It can never be correct. And what does it remind the Africans? It reminds the Africans that maybe even the slaves were used as homosexuals materials when they were being taken to the US. And also it reminds us to, they say one lie is enough to question all truth. The discovery of medicine and surgery. It can now remind us that maybe even you did the experiments on Africans. You could cut the chest here, check the heart is located here, you write down. The lung is located here, you write down. Okay, if I cut here, will he survive? No, he will not survive. You write it. He will survive. You draw it. Okay, if I take it back and shoot it hmm, and leave him there, will he survive? Did the experiment of discovering surgery on the blacks. Yes, the history is not right. I'm also writing the history now. If you want to disapprove me, do your research and disapprove me. I'm writing it verbally on this platform, YouTube. Now, another thing, uh, even this discovery of medicines, you did experiments on the blacks. These days now, with the modern time, you're saying you're doing the experiments on the monkeys and the rest. That may be true, but we also have some kind of questions. We have some kind of questions there. That's what it reminds Africa. The homosexuality thing, and what that Joe Biden is talking about reminds us what his forefathers did to Africa. What his forefathers did to Africa. Slavery, the religious war, fighting, land grabbing. What. It reminds us, the Africans. We have accepted certain things, like the language, English, the one I'm using. Yes, the world needed something that can unify the world, and that is one language, which English is most preferable. We accept it. We cannot accept everything. Eh? We cannot accept everything. In here, the land of the Zen, the black country, proud to be black. Yes, eh, yes. I don't want to talk about any kind of thing of racism. When you call us monkey, what if somebody calls you pig? It is not good. Racism is not good. It is not completely. It's a high time the world comes to harmony. Eh? And we realize that we should stay on the right side of history. Hmm? Now, let's get to Prince Alemayo. Like I told you before, Ethiopian leaders requested the United Kingdom to bring back the body of Prince Alemayo. I want to remind you that the only duly elected president of Congo had the body just returned of recent. I think it was returned last year. That is Patrick Lumumba. He was the only proper elected and the one which was loved by the people. Remember, Congo is the world's richest country naturally, but the poorest economically due to external foreign influence. They want to dictate the leaders and how they do their market, and that's why there's rebels and a lot of nonsense in our beloved Congo. All Africans must come to save Congo. Africans in diaspora, you're forgetting your country. The history lied to you that we are the ones who sold you to that foreign land into slavery. No, until the lions get their own historians, the story will glorify the hunters. These people came with guns, and that's how our ancestors had no power, and they groped and they took the people. You know how Africans love their fellow. You know the culture that binds Africa together. It's one blood. It cannot happen that they sell their fellow blacks. It is impossible. That's a lie. That's why we have named this podcast called Africa Unlearning, because we need to unlearn the wrong stories which were written against us, which were not true. So now, Prince Alemayo died in 1879. They call that disease pleural, that killed him. That is overuse of drugs and so on. That was the future African king of Ethiopia. Now he was buried there. Requests were made starting from 2001, 2007, but they kept quiet, and still, due to continuous requests, they have responded by saying that they will never return the body of the prince. Now the question comes, what if he was burnt? What if they buried something which is not true from the body? We have our African traditional rituals which can detect that this is truly the person through those bones remains. Let the Ethiopians go and do the rituals to identify, because one of the reasons that the Buckingham Palace replied is that the Africans, the body of Prince Alemayo cannot be returned because uh, it is difficult to identify him, and also it will cause discomfort to other bodies, other dead bodies which were buried there. They will also have challenges. No way. Let Africans go and do the traditional practice. You also have your sacred rituals in your royal palace. Allow Africans to do their rituals and identify the bones and return back their beloved king. That is Prince Alemayo. And also, this reminds me of how Prince Alemayo got into United Kingdom. He did not go by himself. It was by that time when his father, who was the king by then in Ethiopia, were defeated by British army. You went there to fight. It's not your land. You defeated him with your fight because you wanted to colonize. Now, after killing the father, you took the son that you want to save the son. Never. Never. You cannot tell me that you want to save the son. No. What do you want to do with the... After, did you say he died at only 18 years old? At only 18 years old, the guy died. You buried him there. Now you don't want to return the body. What did you do to the body? Now, the brain, the head of Chiba Witch of Lamogi, the head of the guy who laid Mama Majimaji, You took the hit to your laboratory. What did you do with it? I want Africans to think about this. Okay, let's save this one for another topic. The things of the discovery. So, Africa. Africans must help Ethiopia to call for the return of the body of of, uh, of Prince Alemayo. Imagine if you think our Africa Unlearning podcast doesn't make sense. Think about this. France and the fight between the Tutsi and Hutu, the genocide, the Rwanda genocide. France just admitted that they got involved in that thing. They're the ones who created that thing to happen. Hmm? They accepted due to continuous pressure against them. And so we need to continue with pressurizing them so that they accept the fact and can to stand. The Middle East has woken up and they're united and they're moving forward. For example, Dubai, they're moving forward in the right direction, developing technology and so on. They're continuing with the right thing. But we Africans, our future becomes dark and darker day by day because we are not realistic. Imagine. So it's high time I call upon all Africans to come together to defend Africa against foreign sex laws and other nonsense foreign policies, and also make sure that we call upon things like the return of the body of our people to happen so that they are laid to rest according to our African tradition, which we must never let it go away. UNESCO says it is under exchange, but we need to make sure that this should not go under exchange. You have been with me, Mark Tunu Bryan, the Chief Executive Officer of Low Folklore, and you have been watching the topic called LGBTQ and Prince Alemayo and what it reminds the Africans. And we have concluded that it reminds us that what the ancestors of United Kingdom and United States did to our ancestors, that is slavery and other things. It is a topic under the podcast called Africa Learning. If it made sense to you, please subscribe, share it to other people. I know the followers are growing. Let's grow together. Like the video. Let me know your feedback in the comment section. And please check that website if you get time. Bye bye. I will see you in the next video as you subscribe. Nice time. God bless you all. God bless the world and God bless Africa. Bye bye.
Cái nó mặc ôi, quay tao làm chờ nó